Press the live button. Are we live?
Yes, we are.
We're live. Yay. Welcome, Michelle.
Hi.
Where's she at? Let's bring her in here. Yay. Hello. Hi, everyone. I see Deidre, Terry, Tamara, Irene, Barbara. Hello. Maybe you can scroll up a little. I might be not seeing everyone. Bethany's here. Yay. Okay. Got it.
I see the comments.
Rebel's running through the comments.
Running.
Awesome. Well, today's live show, we are just going to do a simple project, a burrito pillowcase. You've probably seen this done a million times, but Michelle and I wanted to sew something simple to get your weekend started off great. I think these pillowcases make fun gifts, and you can either eat up your stash or you can get quilting cotton or rayon and make whatever you want for your bed. And Michelle reminded me before we got on here that I also have a free tutorial for making a fitted bed sheet. And I've done it. Ramel complained because I made Anna Maria fitted sheets and Tula Pink fitted sheets. And he said, "What did you say?" I forgot already. I blocked it. I forgot what you said, but you were like, "Really? Pink fitted sheets with bears?" But I love them. I use them all the time.
So you can make a whole set.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So, hey, Ramel, you have the overhead camera on, right?
I do.
Because we didn't test it. But what I'm going to do is put my bolts on the cutting table, and I'm going to cut my fabric with you. And Michelle is going to remind me of the steps as we're sewing along and all that. I think I've got it. Are you using Anna Maria?
No, I'm using my hoarded Tula Pink Disco Kitty because it's my absolute favorite. I love this. And now I can sleep with it. It makes a better sleeping partner than my husband will. Shh, don't tell him.
That's so funny.
But this is going to be my travel pillowcase. Because of the way I sleep, I have to have a pillow for my leg. And this is going to be my leg pillow. So I will snuggle this because I love it. Now I won't look like a freak just carrying around bolts of fabric. Now I'll actually.
No.
And it'll be showing through our car when we're driving along.
Yes.
I'm showing off my Tula. So I'm using my Disco Kitty that I've been hoarding for a few years now.
Awesome. So good.
Yeah.
I have to say, when I traveled a few years back, I made a rayon pillowcase. And then when I was coming back home, that doubled as my dirty laundry. I just tied it at the top. And I loved it because the rayon is really flimsy and kind of silky-ish, So it was great. But today I'm going to use quilting cotton, and I'm going to take you overhead while I cut. Michelle and I, first of all, you want 3 fabrics if you want a cuff, a trim, and the pillowcase body. This is going to be my pillowcase body. So I'm just opening it right off the bolt, and I'm going to cut it 27 inches. And I'll cut off the selvage, but I'm not going to trim it down any more than this. Don't worry too much. This is such an easy project. So I'm going to smush that out of the way. My trim, which is kind of that little piece that pokes out, makes it kind of fancy, is going to be this. So this I'm going to cut just 2 inches. And then my cuff piece, that part that's on the end. Are you mic'd up, Ramel?
No.
Well, you should be, so people can hear you. Michelle, is this one 9 or 11? I think it's 11.
It's 11.
Okay. And honestly, you can do whatever you want, people. If you miscut and do 9, it's not a big deal at all. Okay, so, and you know what? For super beginners, if you wanted to just do one piece and no cuff or trim, just make this longer. Instead of cutting 27 inches, you would want to add 11 into, add another 13 to 14 inches on it so that you have a lot of space for your pillow form to fit in here. Am I making sense? Oh, J. and Carmen I saw is here. Gypsy Robin is here. Yay.
So Terry asked, this is a Juki TL 2200 QVP Mini. I can't believe I had to read that.
Wow.
But it's a QVP Mini. So essentially the same as the 2010 It's the same thing, just different presser feet. This one came with a foot stopper for the pedal. It has a stopper that goes on the bottom, so you can't rock and cut your threads as you're sewing, which I used to do a lot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
We're doing the burrito method, but not French seams. So if you want to do French seams, you got to cut a little bit more. I'm just going to do zigzag stitch. Usually, honestly, I use my serger when I make pillowcases, but I know a lot of people don't have a serger. So I'm just going to do zigzag. Michelle, what are you doing?
Straight stitch.
Okay.
And then I'll trim it down with my pinking shears.
Pink shears, yeah. So super simple. You don't have to do French seams. You don't have to do anything special like a serger. You can just trim it after the fact with your pinking shears, and it's fine. I've done it all ways and washed these pillowcases in my house a million times. Would you say we have like 20 homemade pillowcases in our cabinet? Ramel?
Yeah, I lost
You
count.
are you mic'd up? He said he lost count. Ramel, when we're live, you have to be mic'd up.
I had some stuff that I wanted to
Ramel.
over.
AKA known as Ramona.
And also known as Michelle.
Yeah. Okay. So I'll take you guys overhead for my view. And I'm opening. Actually, we want to lay, which one is first, Michelle? The trim?
The trim.
So you want to bring your trim over. Look, I even have it step out. I'm so fancy. You want to iron press.
Tamara's asking about having the measurements together, please, and for having them all written down.
Yes, I am going to have a complete printout for you, Tamara. But just for now, in case you're cutting right now, your main pillow body is 27 inches by width of fabric, or 44. Your cuff is 11 inches by width of fabric, and your trim is 2 inches by width of fabric. And we're going to fold our trim wrong sides together and press it. You don't have to wash your fabrics before making this project. The only time I wash my fabrics is if I'm sewing garments.
Yes.
So I'm going to press this little trim piece. I just love a bias stripe. It's so good. So there's my trim. Now I'm going to do the same thing with my cuff. Michelle, are we folding this one wrong sides together also?
Yes.
All right, here we go. I'll pull this over.
There is another question.
Okay. I'm a beginner. Can somebody tell me what that zigzag stitch with the line is for? Can that imitate overlocking? It can. Yeah, it's meant to be a stitch that has some give, Emmy. So it's not quite the same as using an overlocker or a serger, but it's a good substitute.
I've made garments using a zigzag stitch previous to having my serger, and then I used a twin needle to do the top stitching.
Yes, totally. Michelle, we're going to be doing some garments in May. I'm just letting you know it's on the agenda.
That's
and
fine
Kim
with
is
me.
going to join us somehow.
This is one of the shirts I actually made. Is it made with it? It was made with my serger. Never mind. I'm not going to lie. It was made with my serger.
Sometimes it's just easier with a serger because of the cutting and slicing.
Fancy. It's like a disco ball.
I love it.
That would be fun having all three of you on there.
All three of us on a live. Wouldn't that be fun?
That would be fun.
I think
that might be a bit dangerous. I don't think we'd get anything done.
I know. It could be just a party. We might have to have the disco ball set up by then, Ramel. Sorry to add to your honey-do list.
But you're going to add to it.
I'm on it.
Hi, Jean. Hi, Evelyn. Okay, so I'm going to take you back overhead. Tell me, Michelle, are you here yet where we're laying it out kind of, or no?
Yep, I'm exactly where you are.
Perfect.
I'm keeping up.
Awesome. So right now, you guys, you're going to lay your trim on your work surface, and the right sides of the fabric are out. Okay? And then you're going to take your cuff, which we iron just like we did the trim. You press it so wrong sides are together and the open edges are towards the top. And you're going to lay it right on top, right, Michelle?
Yes.
Right on top of the trim. I haven't cut my selvages off yet, but I don't care. I'll do it later.
You could leave the salvages, and if it has a little bit of a peekaboo in it, that would be really cool. A peekaboo in the sides of the
Yeah, it would.
piece.
Do I ever come on the camera?
Who?
That was Zena.
Does Ramel ever come on camera? Yeah.
Here's my hand.
No, come over here, Ramel. Come over here. Not fair. Show yourself.
These lives have made me show myself, Ramel, so you need to show yourself.
I'm not tall enough. I mean, I'm too tall for the camera.
Whatever.
So
Can you imagine if you were that tall?
yeah,
I'd be real bossy.
Yeah.
Okay, here we go. So now I'm back overhead. So I've got my trim, I've got my cuff, and now I'm going to take the body of the pillowcase and align that raw edge with the top up here. And then I'm going to clip all these layers in place, or you can pin. Now, Michelle, remind me, this gingham, it kind of both sides look right. Is this facing me so the wrong side of the body is facing up towards me?
I'm trying to remember. Hang on a second.
I believe that's how it
I've
is.
done this. I think we do it.
Because then we're wrapping it around to the other side, right?
So you have to have it right now where you've pinned the cuff and the trim. Now you want the trim to be facing up, and you're sandwiching the trim between your pillow and the cuff.
Correct. But what I mean is, what side of the fabric here are we looking at?
Wrong side.
Yep, wrong side. So wrong side's up, you guys. And then we're going to do this for that other edge. And you're sandwiching the cuff and the trim inside. I'm going to be extra and line up my ginghams, my stripe. Every time I say gingham, I think of Gangnam Style, that song.
Yes, that's what I was exactly thinking.
I beat you too.
How come you're not doing the dance?
I hope my head's not in the way. Ugh. Zoom it in, Ramel. Get my head out of the way.
Zoom it in.
Or no, I'm just kidding. Just relax. I'm going to show you my, I guess I'm making two. You're going to have a pillowcase that's pink gingham. See, because I already had this one all folded up. So Ramel and I will have matching gingham pillowcases, and maybe I'll have to make the fitted sheet to be real matchy-matchy. And then maybe Ramel, won't you be excited if I make you matching pink gingham jammies?
That would be amazing. I just blend in with the bed.
You must love Ramel to make him a matching pillowcase, because I'm not making one for Trevor. Sorry. Just throwing that out there. He is not getting Disco Kitty. He is not allowed to touch it. He won't even be allowed to breathe in this pillowcase's direction.
It's too precious.
Exactly.
I'm going to change my camera view so you can see what I'm sewing here. I'm going to move this a little bit. And I'm going to change to a zigzag stitch. And I have Gutermann all-purpose thread in and my universal chrome needle, just an 80.
What seam allowance are you using, Natalie?
I'm going to use the edge of my foot as a guide. So mine's probably going to be about 1/2 inch. What are you using?
I'll use 1/2 inch as well. Maybe I should. I'll use of 1/2 inch as well. And I'm using Gutermann thread as well.
Awesome. Should I turn off my light? Maybe that's better. Okay. So I'm just going down that edge. It's all those layers together. And what I do is just, I'm feeling it and making sure nothing is getting missed.
And nothing is getting caught under the needle that shouldn't be?
Right, correct. And remember, I am doing a zigzag stitch. I didn't have to do that, but I don't know where my pinking shears are.
Just want to say thank you all for the welcoming comments. I guess I should be on camera more often.
Give the people what they want, Ramel.
Yeah, really. Hello.
Gosh.
Pat said that Ryan went out sleepy.
Oh, that's awesome. So now I'm just going to pull this through. I think this is why this is called the burrito method, because you kind of pull it back out.
Oh, shoot.
What?
Nope, ignore me. I'm okay.
Michelle, I did a boo-boo. Look
So
what
did
I
I.
did.
Isn't that the fun part of being live?
I sewed this second edge up here. I wasn't supposed to do that.
No.
What?
I
Oh,
know, and I just thought, wait a minute, I didn't do it right because I'm thinking burrito method.
oh my
But I
God.
did mine right because then we're going to
Michelle.
take it and do this and sew the edges after.
Yeah, you did it right, Michelle. Don't listen to me. Good thing I have a second backup here. It was coming out of the machine and I'm like, huh, this looks smaller than usual.
Did you just have a gut feeling that you were gonna?
You know what? I've been so busy this morning that I'm not surprised. But guess what? I'm giving myself self-care enough to move forward and not obsess about a mistake.
Do you want me to pick that out?
There. No. Oh yeah, later you can. But right
You
now,
know what? You can make that into a pillow for Tori.
exactly. That's what I meant to do.
Exactly.
It was on purpose. All right, I'm going to catch up. I'm going to do my zigzag stitch. So you all, this is what it should look like. You're matching the top edges. We're not bringing up that bottom edge there. Oh, Lord, have mercy. I can't believe I did that.
Say step up to a sewing machine.
Oh, yeah, Ramel, you should. In fact, Ramel, you could be right here on another machine. We could be sewing this at the same time.
Now are you calling for the both four of us?
4. It'll be
Oh,
a
gosh.
quadruple, a quartet.
Oh, gosh.
I mean, I'm here for it because, yes, represent. Males sew too, right?
Yes, they do.
They do. It's a life skill.
Hey, Ethan sews.
Huh?
Ethan sews.
Oh, super.
He made a pillow cover for Michaela. He's made not pillowcases, bookmarks for her. He's made a quilt block.
Oh, that's awesome.
A little cube. He's done a few things. He likes sewing.
Oh, that's awesome.
Very crafty
Put
kid.
Lynn's comment up. I love that. Thank you, Lynn. I know I've made 8,000 of these, I feel like, and I still messed it up. Who does that? You know what? I'm going to tell you guys this. I was filming a tutorial yesterday and I had to look up my own YouTube tutorial on an adjustable strap and watch it because I kept doing something wrong. I'm like, oh my gosh. Sometimes that's just how it is. And in the video, I'm like, good thing I made my tutorial for myself. Woo. I'm almost there. I'm almost there.
Has anybody made sheets? Evelyn Bitney is asking.
Yeah, I've made quite a few sheets.
Yeah, your fitted sheet. Too.
Yeah, just if you want to do the fitted sheet, look up my tutorial. I have a whole math equation. I do not remember what to tell you for that at all. It was in my head and then now it's gone. So I wrote it down. And a flat sheet, you know, is just super simple. I don't use a flat sheet though, do you?
Yeah, I do.
You do?
Yeah. And we are the kind of family that makes our beds every morning.
That's nice, Michelle.
Yeah, we make them every morning, kids included. They make their beds. Now, I'm sure they're probably taking their fitted sheet and probably like stashing it underneath their quilts, but at least the top is made nicely.
Yeah.
I go full army style where everything's like tucked in and perfect, and I'm a little bit cuckoo about it, but I love the look of a made bed. I love it.
Yeah, I do too. I love the look of it.
Yeah.
All right, tell me what to do next so I don't mess it up.
Oh my gosh. Don't we just put them, wait. We're not doing French seams, right?
No, we're not. Did I mess up this seam?
Nope, you're good. We're supposed to press it. You can press the top so your trim is facing up.
Oh, I did miss this seam, Michelle.
What seam
Isn't
did
the
you
cuff?
miss?
What? Oh my God, what did I do wrong?
No, pull your cuff up. You should see the trim underneath, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, perfect. Flip it up and then you press it up and now you'll have your, see?
But I should have caught this. Somehow I didn't catch. Yeah, I didn't catch it. I don't know how I didn't catch it. I thought I had it clipped.
Oh.
That's okay. I'll run down real quick. It's okay. It's a fabulous Friday. We're not going to judge.
I told my kids when I came down to say goodbye to them this morning, I'm like, hey, Michaela and Ethan, it's Friday. And Ethan looked at me and he's like, don't do that.
That sounds like Mia. That's something she would say, isn't it, Ramel?
Yeah.
Just don't. Are you done? No, what she says to me a lot is, are you done yet? Teenagers.
Divine, she has instructions for making a fitted sheet on the website. If you go to the blog section and type in fitted sheet, you'll find it there. And the
you know what? I'll link it. When I write the blog post after we're done here, I'll link that tutorial. So no worries. I'll find it for you.
And I saw Clovis asked how I'm doing today. Clovis, thank you for asking.
Oh.
I don't want to make this about that, but I'm still struggling pain-wise, but I'm here because this is a great thing to get my focus off and, you know, something happy and positive to do.
She's so sweet.
Yeah.
All right, now I'm caught up. I'm so sorry. Now I'm good to go.
Lives are about. It shows we're real people. Not everything is always perfect, and that's what makes it fun.
Yep, that's right. So I've pressed this up, and now we're folding this big honking thing right sides together.
Yeah,
like this.
And the other thing is you can top stitch if they want underneath that trim, right?
Oh yeah, totally. If you want to, yeah.
I'm not going to get all fancy like that.
I'm not either. And you know what? I'm going to trim off my selvage here because I don't like sewing on the selvage. So what we're doing is we're going from up here all the way down the side and across the bottom. And I'll be using a zigzag stitch, or you can do a straight stitch and trim the seam allowance with your pinking shears like Michelle is going to do.
And when they're pinning, don't forget to pay extra special attention to where that seam is, where your trim and your main meet.
Right here. Can you zoom in, Ramel? On me? Because, yeah, you might be upset if this seam isn't matching. I'm going to have Ramel zoom in here. So I match my trim and my cuff seam.
Oh my gosh.
There we go. So this seam, these are matched up as best I can get them. Oh yeah, good job. So match that part. It's kind of like a bag, you know, the sides. You want your side seams matching up. Now, I don't get bent out of shape if my ginghams aren't perfectly matching. Who cares? You use one side of a pillowcase at a time. You know, life's too short to get mad about matching it up. Now, if you want to, then go ahead.
And when you're sleeping, you're not seeing your pillowcase anyway. So really,
yeah.
Your eyes are closed.
Okay, what's up? Could you use a sturge? Yep. So June, yeah, we mentioned that I usually make this with a sturger, but for these tutorials, we want everyone to be able to just make the project without any barriers. So that's why we're doing this way. Yep, but serging is fabulous. And if you guys don't have a serger, I encourage you to shop around for one and get yourself an air threading serger, right? It makes a big difference. There are lots of tutorials for this project all over the internet. So if you want to do one with French seams, just give it a Google. You'll find one.
Hey, there's Mother's Days coming up.
Mother's Day wouldn't this a card, like a handmade poem and some chocolates be so nice? Hint, hint.
I was just about to say hint, hint, Romel.
I don't know how many more machines we can fit in the house.
Oh, we can always fit another.
It's like when I got my industrial, Trevor's like, where are you going to fit that? I'm like, just watch.
Yeah. We'll fit it somewhere.
Right.
Yes. Tim, that's a great idea. Awesome. It's my inside out pillowcase. And I will come back later, I think, and also do the pinking shears trim when I find them. They're probably on my back porch because I just moved all my sewing stuff back there. Somebody said my blouse. You know what? This is actually a dress. And I wear it with jeans. And I got it at Goodwill or St. Vinny's, actually. And I screamed when I saw it because it's like normally $100 dress from some big boutique. And I got it for $5.99. And it had tags on it.
Gosh, I wish I had those.
I know. I love thrifting. Absolutely love it. So thank you. Whoever said that, I forget. Okay, so now I'm here and I'm going to pull my pillowcase right sides out.
I used the wrong thread because I can barely see it.
Are you mic'd up still, Ramel?
Yeah. Michelle, you have a question for you.
Michelle, there's a question for you.
I used to use only this machine for all my bags, but now I will use my Juki Industrial sometimes when I'm wanting to use thicker, so all vinyl like throughout the whole bag, or just because it just needs some loving. But any tutorials or anything I do, I film on this one because it's domestic and I want to have domestic friendly tutorials. But for about, I think I've had this 5 years now, I sewed on just this machine.
Yeah.
And previous to this, I had a brother. Previous to that, I had a Singer heavy duty. And previous to that, I started on a Singer, what is it called? I can't even remember, but it was a really basic, cheapy $80 machine that my husband bought me just to see if I would like sewing. And I worked that thing to the bone. I made it do things it shouldn't have done. And when it died, it was...
Yep.
I like Elizabeth's idea there.
Including, we have lots of handmade pillowcases, including flannel ones for winter. Oh, yeah. Yes, I totally agree, Elizabeth.
That just screams coffee and
coffee,
by the
higgy,
fireplace or something.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
So I'm just pressing my pillowcase now. I'm gonna flip it here and show you. These are really fast, especially when you don't make a mistake. I'm not
Even
mad
when you
about
make
it.
mistakes, it's still fast.
Yeah, really.
I like Jean's.
Always room for more sewing machines. That's right. Heck yeah, Jean. That's what I'm talking about. Serious sewist. Yep, all in the name of efficiency. Oh, Evelyn from Fort Myers. Yay. Welcome, welcome.
Now I want to go take a nap.
Well, you know what? It's Self-Care Friday, so you are allowed. There is our pillowcase. Here's mine. Where's yours, Michelle? Oh,
My kitties.
So cute.
I'm so excited. Seriously, I want to go nap just so I can say I used it.
Yeah, that's right. We need a reel. I'm just kidding.
A reel of me sleeping, but who's going to record it?
I know, right?
Nobody's home.
Your cat.
I'll strap it to the cat, yeah, and she can be like, because she's always in my face.
Yes, exactly.
This Juki here that you just saw me sew on is a Juki hang on, TL 2200 QVP Mini, and my industrial is a Juki DDL 8700.
And you guys have seen me sew on my Juki 2000.
Yep.
Lots of bags. So I just think if you're into bag making, you need to go to a sewing shop and test out some different machines. And you want to tell them when you go that you'll be sewing lots of layers because it will make a big difference in the models that they show you. I was very strong about that when I was shopping for this Bernina 1008. This is a mechanical machine. It is not high end. It's very basic. And I told the guy these things. I'm going to be sewing through tons of layers, maybe 10 layers. I need it really simple because I don't like computer stuff. And I need it to work every time and not bird nest and do all this silly crap, you know? And so he told me, oh, you want this machine then? He just knew right away. Remember that in England? He's like, this is the one you want.
Bring, if you can, bring materials with you.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because they'll let you try them.
Yep.
It was a nice little
it was Cambridge.
shop. Cambridge.
Cambridge,
That's right,
England. Yep.
Cambridge.
So,
Nice little shop there.
oh, it's Earth Day today. Gosh darn it. I'm always behind the ball on that.
What is the date? Don't even laugh. I don't even know what the date is.
Is it the 21st?
Today is the 21st.
Yeah, I guessed, but only because my dad's birthday is next week. Oh, which reminds me, next Friday will probably be a recorded video because I have to go see my parents, so I won't be here live, but I'll probably have something for you. And maybe Michelle and I can sew live earlier in the week or something. We'll figure it out.
Yes, because Thursday I'm not here. I'll be in a car for 6 hours to travel south.
Wow.
I'm going to go see Catherine, and
Oh.
I have a craft market that I'm doing on Saturday in Wasaga Beach.
Oh, awesome. So if
Yeah.
anyone's in the Wasaga Beach area, go
Or,
see
yeah, they
Michelle
can
and
come say
Catherine.
hi.
Yeah.
Michelle, I
Awesome.
think that question is for you from Carmen.
Is your Juki a cylinder arm?
No, I couldn't afford it.
Yeah, they are more expensive.
They're expensive. And I've never sewn with one. They're kind of intimidating. I don't know, something about it. It scares me. I know people like cylinder arms because they feel that they can stitch the tops of their, like top stitch the bags easier.
Yeah.
But I haven't really had a problem because I just turn my bags right side out and I stitch that way. I'm just afraid of the cylinder arms. They look really intimidating. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't have one. I want one, but I don't have one either. Maybe someday.
And serger scared me too. And then I started using it. And the only thing with the serger is threading it. But once you get it, it's easy.
Film
it.
Film yourself threading your serger or get an air threader and then refer back to that. Believe me, that's what I've had to do. Or I get Ramel and say, can you help?
The tension is the other thing on the sergers. They're so finicky. Like I find the tension, once it's off, it's like you have the 4 dials you have to switch to. That's why I really still prefer, if I can, I'll use a zigzag stitch because I'm like, I don't want to deal with tension. I just, I don't want to fight with that thing.
I know. I totally hear you on that. Yeah.
I did want to say, after our last session, look what I found at the dollar store.
Sharpies. Awesome. I just bought a pack that was on clearance. Yeah.
Yeah, at the dollar store. I don't know.
Love Sharpies. Michelle and I will use Sharpies on threads on our bags if it's not a perfect matching color, by the way, in case you didn't know. Cylinder arms are a special machine that doesn't have a throat as wide as a standard machine. So it's very specialty. If you just Google it, you will see what we're talking about. It's
literally looks like your arm.
Yeah.
It's literally this, and then this part of the machine is what you can get the table.
They use it a lot for sleeves and things that are real skinny as well. Somebody asked another question and you passed it.
I don't think so.
I will say though, everything that you and I have been making and doing, all very domestic friendly. So even your basic machine from like Walmart or wherever, you don't need fancy machines to sew anything Natalie and I, or anything Natalie even has, even like the Santorini, your vinyls,
Yep.
My brother that can barely sew anything can sew your vinyls.
Yep.
So I can attest to that. I'm not just saying that. I really do mean it, that
Yeah.
everything is 100% domestic friendly, even on the most basic of machines.
That's awesome. Yeah. Sometimes I forget to tell people that I don't have an industrial. I test everything I sell. I sew a project. I do it on my home machines and all the different machines that I have now. And for 10 to 12 years, I only had this machine. It was only recently where I invested in a few different kinds, and it's for reasons. It was efficiency at the time. But I'm glad that I have those different models. They're all different brands so that I can test things for you, because more than once I've gotten a product in and I've decided not to sell it, because if I can't sew it, I'm not going to sell it. Period. End of question. Because we don't want 10,000 emails, do we, about something that is going wrong, right? So that's it. And thanks for reminding me, Michelle, of that. That's a really important piece of So Hungry Hippie is we want you to be enabled.
And it's not just the machine. Remember, needles, threads, presser feet make the difference too.
Yes, definitely. I always tell people just get a Teflon foot for sure, and talk to your local sewing store. Okay, Emmy, I would not do that. I wouldn't. I'm sorry. I've had bad experience with that. Move on. I've had bad experience with also Amazon. So I think it is very worth, Ramel, move on with the comments. I think it's very worth going to your local sewing store and talking with them, because you're going to have that service element too. I wish I could stock these feet and everything for all the brands, but I'm not a sewing machine seller. So that's why we're running into an issue there. But you're going to find a store and you're going to find a person to connect with and get the right products and tools for your situation, whatever you're sewing. And your sewing situation will probably change over time as well. And feel good about that. It should change. You shouldn't think that you're locked into only doing one thing.
And to comment on the China thing, even though it's cheaper in sense of buying, it doesn't necessarily mean you're going to have the good quality. It can fall apart, it can break, and then you're going to spend that amount of money anyways in the end, where you could have invested. Just look at this as an investment. This is something that you're invested in, and you're going to have this for a long time. So it's worth spending the extra money to have it last that lifetime of your sewing.
For sure. And I can speak from experience. I bought a ruffler foot, which is a very big contraption foot for this machine, in fact, and I nearly broke my machine because I did buy it on Amazon. I'm sure it came from another country, and even though it said for this model type, everything was correct. Everything. Trust me, I spent a long time. It nearly broke my machine. I had to take it to a shop and fix it and then start again. And I had to buy the $100 ruffler foot that was correct. So yes, you absolutely can, Barbara. Yes, I did for about 10 years with just a machine, just a sewing machine. So use a zigzag stitch if you have that on your machine, or you can cut out your fabric with pinking shears, which are those zigzaggedy scissors. It'll help you stop your fabric from fraying. Or the other thing is you can do French seams on garments too, which is very fancy. You'll have to cut it out with a bigger seam allowance, but it's easy. It's an easy method. It's been done for thousands of years. So it's not difficult. It just is a little bit more time consuming and intentional. So that's all. Awesome. I am so glad everyone's getting so fired up. Me Made May is coming. We're going to be doing some really easy garments. We've got so much planned for you. It's going to be amazing. So if you're scared of garments, don't be. Okay? Don't. Change your mindset.
Don't. They're so fun to make.
What's that?
They're so fun to make. I love
they are. And they're fast, aren't they, Michelle?
And they fit properly. It's not like you go to a store and you're like, oh, it's too tight here. It's too loose here. Oh, I look like I'm wearing a potato sack.
Right, exactly.
I would rather have something that looks right.
Best pinking shears. So Lady Farah, I think it just depends on whatever you feel most comfortable with. For a long time, I used the orange ones, but now I use Havel's because I just like them better. They feel better in my hand. Some people use Ginger, some people use Olfa. I mean, it doesn't really matter. I think they're pretty standard across the board. Just get ones made by a sewing company.
Mhm.
Oh, Tamara likes Kai. Those are upscale, Tamara.
That's what I use, is the Kai pinking shears.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're nice and sharp.
What extra seam allowance on the pillowcase do you recommend? What do you mean, Don? If you're doing French seams, we need to, you know what? I'm going to put it in the blog post because I don't want to confuse anyone. I just used today, Michelle and I both used 1/2 inch seam allowance, right, Michelle?
Yes, and then I cut it down with my pinking shears.
Yeah. What's Carla saying? I can't see. Scroll down a little bit.
Oh, you have a question up here.
Oh, Kat, can you move so I can see it? Have you ever done, I can't read that. That's too far away. Have you ever done a muslin for a garment? Yeah, I just go right in with my fabric, LOL.
Same.
It's because we're related, Kat, and this is what we do. Either way is
Go
fine.
for it. I don't do anything muslin. Just go right for it.
You can. The recommended advice is to do a muslin, but I'm going to be honest. I am not doing anything super fitted and tailored. So I usually don't do a muslin. Now, I did do a muslin for the Trillium, which used to be called the washi dress. I did do a muslin on that because the body's portion is more fitted. And I wanted to get it right. And so I did do a muslin for that one. But almost everything else I've sewn, I don't think I've done a muslin for, which is naughty, but I don't care. I don't follow the rules. I just do what I want.
I'm a rule breaker and I don't either. I've just gone for it. And if it doesn't work out, well, then I make it smaller and give it to my daughter.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Who never wears it.
Yeah. Don, we were earlier talking about French seams in case you didn't want to zigzag stitch or pink shear your pillowcase. But if you missed it, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
No, I think she was asking about the extra seam allowance if using French seams on the pillowcase, but I don't think that would be necessary, would it?
Yeah, it is. You want to add at least an inch.
Oh, you do? Okay.
Yeah.
Don't listen to me.
Yeah, because you're sewing it twice. So
Right.
I would add an inch just to be safe. Definitely, I no longer order generic presser feet from, Divine says she learned the hard way too. Seriously, it's not fun to learn that lesson. I don't want to learn that lesson more than once.
No.
What is Lynn saying? I want to make a garment with linen. Can you stop hovering over it, Ramel? See how I can't see it when you hover over it?
Okay.
Thank you.
I'm
Thank
just
you.
queuing
Are
the
you
next
tracking
one.
now?
I'm trying to cue the next comment. Okay.
How much yardage should I hoard before I make a specific plan? Don't want to end up with no linen. Not sure what I want to make yet. So, Lynn, if you're doing a top, 1 to 2 yards is probably good. If you're doing a dress or a skirt, like you want 5 to 8 yards, no joke. I've got tons of linen shipping. I just got my bill, so it must be shipping to me now. Tons of linen coming in several colorways. And we do have right now black and navy, I believe, in the rayon linen blends, which are lovely. They feel amazing and they don't wrinkle as much as 100% linen. And that's what I'll be using in May. I'll be using the linen rayon blends and linen. I can't wait. Okay. What's next? Awesome. Do you recommend following a pattern for a beginner's first clothing item? Yes. I do, Emmy. And I have written, I think, a blog post. Kim can check. I thought I wrote a blog post on my favorite beginner garment patterns several years ago. I will update it and post that on Facebook and other social medias because the right patterns are so important. I never recommend starting out with the big box patterns from the big box stores. And I know you know what I mean. Do not start there. You're going to get so frustrated. Start with an indie pattern designer. And we're going to have a whole list. I have a bunch of patterns that I've made in the store, and I have more to list today. I just got them in. Sure. These are some of my favorites. Bada bing, bada boom. And I've made all of these. So let me show you.
Probably wanna put the top in.
Oh, sure, I can do that. So I'm going to be doing some Sew House 7 patterns, which I highly recommend. I'm going to be doing some Sew Liberated patterns. I have a video for this somewhere if I didn't delete it. There's some Anna Maria ones I'm going to do. I really highly recommend some Made by Ray patterns. I love the ruby top. This is the Trillium or washi dress. That was my first garment that I made. And I was not special. I did not have talent. So any of these, I highly recommend. You're going to be in wonderful hands. And I'm going to have a full list for you. I'm going to have a full list, and we're going to go through some things in May. So
What is that long dress you showed on the live this week?
the Savi, I made this. Did I show it on a live?
I think so.
I made the Savi on Sunday. I don't have a photo of me wearing it yet because it's been too cold, but I will get that done. I'm going to have a whole fashion montage done for you guys. So yeah, that's coming in May. I am so excited because I'm in the mood for garments. Because they're
Need new
comfortable.
garments for the nice weather.
Yeah.
Whatever
Oh, the
comes.
Ethel pant. Yeah, that is one of my favorite pant patterns. Evelyn, I have a class coming out in May making the Ethel, because I bet I have 20 pairs of Ethel pants. That's how much I love that. It's a loose balloon drop crotch pant style. So it's super easy and forgiving. It is so easy. Yep. So House 7 trousers. Yep, those are easy. And they have a more styled structure than other pants. You're going to be great. You're going to do so good.
I can't wait.
All right. Well, Michelle, I don't want to take up your whole day. I know you have to go eat lunch and all that.
Well,
So I
part
guess
of survival.
I guess we'll sign off. If you guys have further questions that I didn't get to, just comment and we'll come back in. Evelyn, what material do I need for the panels? On the pants, on these pants, you can use the same material as the front and back if you want. Or you can use a contrast if you want the side panel to show. But yeah, I've made mine out of linen, and I've made some out of quilting cotton, and I have one cut out with rayon.
Can't do linen, you just sort of making pillowcases and sheets.
Yes, linen you can use for all of that. Just know at first it will feel a little stiff and rough, but linen gets softer every time you wash it. So maybe you want to wash it 5 times before you use it. Yes. Awesome. All right. Well, we'll go. You guys get to sewing, get to having a great weekend, and we will see you next week. And Michelle, thank you.
Thank you, everyone. This was fun.
See
Bye.
you later. Bye.